You're sent there as a remnant, and you'll be a refuge, and Hungary will be a refuge. And I realized right then that is why, was this war, is why we were sent there.
Hi, I just want to check in from the border. You guys were praying for these 29 people coming from Ukraine, and I just wanted to update you that they are here safe and sound, and I got to talk to them, and you can see the place where they are singing. And thank you for praying. They got on a train 1,200 kilometers away from here a few days ago, and next day their town was bombed, and they shot at them, at the people there who left. So they just got out at the right time. So thank you for praying. God bless you.
My name is Leslie Ban, and this is my husband Norbert Ban, and we are missionaries to Hungary. Well, we had been hearing rumors of war, of course, for a couple months, and it was more like Austria and Germany were warning their citizens how to prep for no electricity and no heat. And that was kind of like, well, I wonder what's going on. And then, but the Ukraine president, he kept saying nothing, don't worry, it's nothing. So actually it was quite a big surprise. The whole night I slept really restless. Like, we didn't know actually that a war was starting. But I slept really bad, restless, and I kept waking up to hear God speak. Be very careful of your decisions, be very careful, be very careful. And this just went over and over my head the whole night. And then I woke up and I had that message on my phone. The war started.
We were helping Ukrainian refugees that were flooding over to Hungary. So the first night they had around 300 refugees ended up at that location. It was a local church, a few hundred meters from the border, and it was a Roma church with a Roma pastor. And that group of people, most of them were Romans. And naturally they came to that Roma church to get help. And the pastor, his heart is so nice, and just gave up his own bed and his own kids' bed just so these people can sleep. So when we arrived, they had probably around 150 people, refugees there, that we set up housing for them, helped with the food, unload trucks that came with food supply, organize the food supply. And when they started it, and no one was there to help them, they just put whatever food came, they just put it in this room. But everything was mixed together, and when they needed food, they didn't know what they had. So the interns were kindly helping and organized that room, separating the food, and that helped us to know what we have and what we can use to cook for them.
So when the group came with the disabilities, and they finally made it to Hungary and everyone was safe, it was a big relief. They were so excited to be there, and our team was able to come, and we did crafts with them, we played with them, we had a great time. But we also had those hard conversations of listening to them tell their story about how they just barely made it out, that the next day their apartment was bombed. A young girl, she was probably about 24, she had her grandmother who was 83, she had her mother who was paralyzed, and she left behind in Ukraine her fiance who was in the military and her dad.
I remember that picture I took when the youth leader is throwing them up in the air and they are just laughing. They are happy at that place. It was so good to see that they were safe. And I remember that lady who was, Leslie was talking about, that she was telling me that, 2 weeks ago I had hopes and dreams. On a fall, I wanted to start medical school, and that's not going to happen. I don't have a place to live. I don't have a home, and I'm in a different country. So it's really traumatic for them, this whole process, but they knew that they had to leave. And this was that very one lady who showed me a picture that her apartment got bombed the next day, the day after they left.
Prayer, of course, is the most important aspect of this situation, and we see how God has done the miraculous. And so keep praying for the situation, keep praying for the workers, and we see all these miracles because of the prayers of the saints.